Hello, welcome to day 16 of World FND Awareness Month. I'm not feeling so good today, so I might make it a bit shorter than normal. Today's subject is about when I was diagnosed, and when I started this video series, I mentioned that my original diagnosis was I think I might have said May last year, but actually the first time FND was mentioned to me was around about 2015, give or take a year. And I had a really weird set of symptoms, and they did a brain scan and actually did find a couple of lesions and suspected MS. I was due to have a lumbar puncture to help with the diagnosis of that, but I was actually getting better already by then. So I had this weird sensation of not being able to move my leg properly, and some bladder issues and some pins and needles and stuff like that, but I was already starting to get better by then. So, and I was really scared of having the lumbar puncture because I've already had spinal surgery, and I've had problems with my spine since I was 15 and suffer with migraines, and I just generally didn't want to have it. So about 2 days before I was due to have it, I cancelled that and discharged myself from their care. And I ended up seeing a neurologist who found my case, and I don't know how, but she picked it out and asked to see me. And she was the one who said, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Actually, everything's come back to normal." It'd only gone on for a couple of months. And she said that she thinks I have FND, and I said, "Oh," and so she said, "But we don't know how that happened. We don't really know much about it." And I said, "Well, it doesn't really matter because I'm getting better." She said, "Well, are you happy to be discharged?" And I said, "Yes." And that was literally the end of it. And I completely forgot I had that until 2018, I think late 2018, when somebody at work, there was an incident at work where FND, functional neurological disorder, got brought up. And I remembered then, I was like, "Oh, hang on a second, I think that's something that I have been told I have." Couldn't even remember what it was, had to Google it, no idea. And then I was like, "Oh, that doesn't sound anything like me," because I had years and years and years of no other symptoms. And then in the run-up to May last year, I was ill with viruses, and I had a really nasty chest infection, but I'd had about 3 months of severe dizziness. In amongst those sort of 4 or 5 years between this now and then, I'd also been diagnosed with vestibular migraines, which with and without the headache side of it. So this intense room spinning and dizziness, and the ground falling out from underneath me, and really, really nasty. But they usually would come and go. It wasn't something that would last, but this had lasted for months, probably about 3 months. It was getting worse. I was having to walk with a stick and hold the wall as I was going, or I just felt like I was going to fall over. And I was just really, really, really ill with this chest infection. And then I couldn't speak properly. I kept feeling as well this really weird sensation at the side of my head. And I kept saying to people, "What's wrong with my face?" Because it felt like it was doing this. And they said, "No, there's nothing there, there's nothing there." But I could feel it. And then on the morning that I collapsed, I could feel it really strongly. And then I agreed for them to call the paramedics at that point, because I couldn't do anything. The room was spinning so badly, I couldn't think straight. My face felt weird. And basically what happened was I looked like I had a stroke. All the symptoms of having a stroke. So I lost feeling in one side of my power and feeling in one side of my body, and my face pulled. If you've seen, go to my account, go to my grid, there's a trigger warning slide, if you're interested, that shows you what happens when my face does this thing. And basically the trigeminal nerve that runs from the side of your head here and kind of goes up around your eye, around your cheek, and down here, and it goes into spasm. In one of the videos I've got on there, you can see it twitching here. You know when you get your eye and it twitches like this, and it's really annoying and you can't do anything about it, but that extreme, and my whole face pulls. That's really painful. So that's what happened in May last year, and that's when they took me back into the hospital, and that's when they talked about FND, and I have not been the same since then. So although I was kind of diagnosed 2014, 2015-ish, I really feel like it was May last year that my actual FND came